How's it going, guys? Welcome to Audio Addiction. We have Leah with us. She can say her name, what she does, and all that jazz.
Yeah, hello. Thanks so much for having me. I'm Leah. I'm a pop punk, alt pop,
Woo!
whatever you want to call it, artist based out of Nashville currently, also Jersey, and I've been in LA for a while, so I kind of say all those three spots, but if anything happens in any of those places, I'm there.
You're
So,
there, yeah. You show up. I appreciate that.
exactly.
That's some dedication right there. So that's awesome. Leah and I were just talking about how wild music is and how how someone and then they're like, oh, bro, you know that guy? They're sick. I love them. And then they're like, "Oh my god, you know that person?" It's crazy. So we shout out to Sierra, and I can't say with a straight face Geo, but I'm gonna do it anyway. George, my boy, I love that guy. So big salutes. But yeah, we have some close homies. So it's good to
Homie.
finally meet Leah. But I also want to give a shout out to Broadwing as well. I saw your like remixed version of it. I was like, yo, who is this person? Like who I was like, who is this? I need to get her on the show. She's like right on everything that I love right now. So I was like, I was like, let me email her because sliding into the DMs is not the way. So I was like, hi, my name is Brandon. I run this. I was very professional about it. So
And
then
it's been
she
a
came on.
long time coming, but I'm finally glad it's actually happening now, which I appreciate so much. I've been going through a move, so I say I could do things, and then I'm like, I don't even know where my head is at right now. So I feel terrible that it's been maybe over a month since we've been trying to schedule
It's
this,
all
but I'm
right.
glad we're sitting here together now and we're doing it. So
I got the heart of a fighter, so I'm gonna do it. If I really want it, I'm gonna get it,
absolutely, I'm the same way.
so it's great. I wanted to give a shout out. I watched so after I had watched the video, the remix version of your Broadway version of the song, I was like, let me go down the rabbit hole just a little bit, right? So I went on YouTube and I was watching like some interviews that you had done. And one that stuck out to me, shout outs to one of the goats, Nick Major. I want to give him a slight plug because he was like one of the first people that I saw online and I was like, yo, I want to start interviewing bands. That seems sick. And then I just started doing
Oh.
it. So shout outs to
I
Nick.
had a feeling you were gonna say Nick. Yeah, that
Yeah.
that interview is like one of the coolest things I've ever done, like in my life
He's
in
awesome, and
general.
he just seems so personable, so, like, for me, like, that's the vibe I try to, encapsulate, so I feel like, Nick, thank you. Thank you for the vibes, always on point, so big salutes to Nick Major, but I watched the interview, and you had something that you pointed out that is very near and dear to my heart. I am also adopted, and so I feel
Ooh.
like for me, I that was what kind of made me really wanna have you on the show because very rarely do I ever get to talk about that sort of stuff. So to me, that like struck a chord with me personally. And
Oh,
I was like, oh my God. I was like, that's so amazing that like, she found out about like her brother and like her family and all that sort of stuff. And I was
yeah.
not gonna lie, I was getting a little teary eyed. I was like,
Oh,
that's so
oh,
nice. And so, how I mean, obviously you went into it and I don't want to take away Nick's Major's interview because it was great. Go watch it. I'll leave a link in the description. But I wanted to just say is like from another adoptee to another, like I thought that was a really great way to kind of like show off your story. And I think it's like oftentimes people ask me, they're like, oh, are you gonna find out about your parents? You're gonna find out about your family and stuff. And it's like, I feel like I want to, but I also know it takes like a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of effort, and so and I feel like the way that you phrased it as it might not always be, or I'm paraphrasing obviously, but it might
yeah,
not be the way that you want it to be in the end. And so I was like, I appreciate the honesty because very easily you could have just been like, yeah, everything's going great. My life's going great. Adopted family, great. My blood family, great. So I
yeah.
just
I
wanted to give
want
a
to like
salute.
bounce off of that too, because like on television shows growing up, like I'd watch all these shows and TV for some reason. I mean, maybe for some reason it's television, like
Yeah.
no doubt, yeah. But like, I don't know, TV portrays it as like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. These people are meeting for the first time, and
Wow. Yeah.
it's so misleading because it's not that. Like it comes along with so much heartache and, like, scary things you're learning about yourself and, like, uncertainty and, like, is this safe to do? Is it
Yeah,
not? Like,
yeah.
you don't know, but, like, it could be good. It definitely, like, could be good, but it's no one should ever go into, like, any of that, like, the biological family search without being 100% ready and really just prepared to expect the worst, hope for the best, but expect the
Sure, sure,
worst.
sure. Yeah, I think it's like I also feel like it's people's I feel like yeah, it's an incorrect portrayal of like what you feel like everybody thinks. They're like, "Oh my god, like I feel like when you meet your mom it's going to be sick," you know? And I'm like, "Well, she's also in like another country somewhere else,
Mm,
you know? And like there's going to be a language barrier and I have to go find
wow.
like somebody to go search for that person. Like there's a lot more like intricacies that are involved with it and like I
Mm.
said, I don't get to talk about it too much here, so I hope Leah doesn't mind that we know share a bonding moment here, but like
Yeah,
but I think to me it was like that was what stuck out and I think that was kind of what originally made me want to have you on because I think like oftentimes like I feel like with having adopted people on like you're like, "Oh, well you're expecting them to just be like this completely different person." I'm like, no, we're all like chill. We're all doing our shit, you know? Like, but I think it's like, it's oftentimes I'm curious if like adopted people channel some of that, I don't want to say misrepresentation, but maybe like misdirected sort of like emotions to music. Do you find that because, you're adopted, do you find that some of those emotions maybe wind up making it into some of your songs, or have you not even kind of related that type of information, I guess?
ooh, that I feel like, I mean, at least me speaking for myself personally, I feel like being the only person in my adoptive family that, like, makes the music the way I do, whereas,
Sure.
like, my biological family all did rock music.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Okay.
I feel like, because my adoptive family have, like, they put me in, like, I'm not talking even just, like, the household family, just, like, everybody, like, we have some piano players, and I've been put into choirs and stuff my whole life, thankfully. But it's kinda like I come out with this music that is so, even, I mean, I don't know, just different, even when I did pop, but, like, I don't know, that's very different than the music that they would listen to all the time. I do feel like, "Oh, well, I got this, like, rebellious edginess, and, I write this way because, like, this is in my blood."
Yeah, I'm gonna
So,
write edgy. Yeah.
but I channel it that way. It's like I literally know that this music, like, to be a songwriter, and, like, whether it's rock or pop or whatever, like, it like makes sense that I love it so much because my entire biological family, like, in that, I don't know, what do you call, like, the household family? Just like
The
immediate
immediate
family.
family. Yeah.
I'm like, my brain in, like, Sims mode. I'm like,
It's all
the
right.
household, the
The
household.
household, the house, the
Yeah,
overarching,
I'm
whatever
like, you have them
sentient
in a
being
house.
that creates the house in Sims. I got you. Yeah.
But yeah, like, they all do music, whereas not as many people in my adoptive family do music. So, I
uh
think I do channel it in some way, but not necessarily lyrically.
Sure, sure, sure. The energy's there, I think
Yeah.
I find that as I kind of find a similar thing. Like I'm the only one in my adoptive family. I'm the only one who plays an instrument. My mom
Mm,
plays like maybe a little bit of piano. She did some singing, but I'm the only one who like plays guitar, plays a bunch of instruments and stuff. So I'm curious if my like mom was any sort of like musically inclined in some way because it would be cool. So I wanted to
right.
point that out. That was like the first thing that in my head I was like, I have to ask her. Like in my the intrusive thoughts were like, I have to ask
No,
Leah about this.
I
Like
don't that's a great question. I'm glad you did.
that's awesome. Well, we're gonna lead into the next one, Leah, which is, I'm a nerd, so I love to know, why people get started out in music and stuff. So, what's kind of the first inclination or like starting point of when you started making music? Obviously, you mentioned before your adoptive family had put you into like choirs and stuff. So when did you really think like, man, I want to do like a band or like I want to be in a project or something and start doing that. And then obviously what made you, ultimately shift over to just doing Leah as like, I imagine this is more of like a solo project slash like group thing.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've been songwriting, like, I still have, like, the books from when I was in, like, I don't know, like, 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade,
Wow.
so I have been, like, songwriting. I did this weird thing where I would write it down, and then I'd have to make it perfect, so I'd get a new notebook and write all the songs again, so it was probably on its, like, 5th iteration of the
It's
5th grade
the book of
songwriting book.
Leah 5. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, something like that, but, it's one of the originals until I know exactly where it is in my mom's house, but, yeah, I've been songwriting for a long time, and I think that's a little separate than, like, being in choirs and taking piano lessons
Sure,
and,
sure, sure.
you know, being singing, whatever, because that or, like, being in the plays, because that was something that you just did with the group, it was like that their material only, so being able to say that I've been writing my own stuff since I was pretty little, is really cool because that's honestly just where it started. Um, then, like, I guess when I wanted to be in a band, I want to say like I was between like I mean I was like in middle and high school. I would start getting really into like the local Jersey scene
Oh
and
yeah.
going to shows at the Pony and just getting involved in that where I would know some people here and there. I wish I was involved like full, like wholeheartedly at that time because I feel like it probably would have started my career a little bit earlier, but
Sure,
like
sure, sure.
that wasn't my life, but I started like getting a little bit of an interest there and like wanting to make a band and then I started a band with like some friends in high school and then went off to college for music and wound up being an acapella and that kind of took my life down
Wow.
a different path for a while. So I was like and we had gone viral like in 2014. So we were like
What?
right off the bat like jumping into like college acapella like being one of the I mean viral wasn't like a big thing in 2014,
Sure,
right?
yeah.
It,
Yeah, yeah,
it,
yeah.
it was on YouTube and that's like where you would kind of pop off like post Vine or whatever. But yeah, so I mean, took a like I guess a break or like just a pause, like trying to figure out like what sound I wanted to
Sure,
do,
sure,
like while
sure.
I was just in college and stuff. But yeah, I mean, the band idea was like in high school, loved that, then kind of like drifted from it for a while and then went back into it once I had moved out to LA, maybe like 2 or 3 years after being in LA, I was like, "Okay, wait, let me like I wanna be in a band. I wanna start going like making more rock music because, I've had people tell me time and time again, like, oh, you write good pop songs, but like your voice is made for rock and roll. Like, and it's just after hearing it so many times, it's like the stuff I listened to growing up, it's like
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
ready to do that. So I hadn't changed my name from when I was doing like I mean, in high school, like right out of high school, it was Leah the band. Like that's like my email still. So that's like
No,
why
oh, that's
like
great.
Leah the band bookings. Like that's what you are like chatting with on there. So I like hadn't changed it since then because I don't know. So it was that, and then I was like, all right, I'll put spaces in my name because when I had moved out to LA and well, I guess it was a couple yeah, in 2016 when I was like going back and forth from college to LA, like the pop music then was, there people were coming out with their like names in like capital letters and like, Arizona with the capital letters
Well,
and
or like the
spaces.
V's, like Paris with a V, I
Yeah,
got you,
yeah. And so exactly, and it's like a sign of the times, and I'm like, I always think about changing it. I'm like, but I don't know, it's been like a back and
Sure, sure,
forth.
sure,
But
sure, sure.
that's where it came from, and that's where it is now. It's not. I guess it's solo. Like I think I'll say I'm a solo artist, and I'll say I'm a band. Like I love when people address me as multiple people, even though it's just me, because it takes me and like 10 other people
It's
to
an
make the
army.
stuff I make.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm not programming all the guitars and drums and,
Wait, you're
you
not? Oh
know
my god. Oh, wow.
some people think I am,
This
and
is a
I'm like,
revelation to me now.
I wish. I mean, I think I would go crazy if I was doing all that. I wouldn't be able to balance it all, but, like, Leah is a band in that sense. So that's why, you can call me solo. It's just really is just me, but you'll never see me on stage alone
Correct, yeah.
mostly. Yeah. I was like, yeah. Yeah.
That summarizes it, I feel. Yeah, and I will say it's like I went back and listened to some of the pop stuff, and I was like, this is like wildly different, you know. Like and then I listened to after that I went down the rabbit hole and listened to some of the newer stuff, and then like listened to Happy Never Ending. I guess you like it anyway. I guess I like you anyway, and F you LOL. And I was like, okay, now like I could tell there was like a shift. Like you could tell on like the YouTube timeline where that shift happened, where I was just like, what light switches went off in her head where she's just like, "Oh, I gotta start doing, like, this pop punk alt shit," right? Like and so I was like, it makes sense now that people and again, when I watched the interview with Nick, I was just like, it makes sense that, like, people would probably just nag you and be like, "Yeah, we you definitely need to be in, like, a rock or, like, a pop punk project because that's where your voice fits." And listening to the pop stuff, I do agree with a lot of people, it was very good. Like, I think it's very well produced pop music, but I think there was, like you could tell there was some, like, reservation a little bit where you're like, "Nah, I feel like she's got a little bit more in the tank, but, like, doesn't wanna let it out.
Yep.
When is she going to let it out, right?" And then it's
Yep.
just like after that switch over and, like, everything changed over, I was like, "Okay, I see it now. Yeah, okay."
Absolutely. That's like you hit the nail on the head. That's what it was. Like it was fun to make, but it just like I don't know, it didn't feel as authentic. And I always go back to this moment. It's like really silly, but I always think of it like every day where I was auditioning, I think for it was either like American Idol or The Voice, and I was like 15 and they pulled me aside and they're like, "You're so close, but you haven't found what like you
What
haven't
you're looking
found
for.
it."
Yeah.
Yeah, you haven't found it yet, like, you're so close with your voice and your style, like, you're getting there, and even creating that pop, like, that voice of that producer who I can't even is faceless at this point, like, is still in my head being like, "You're so close, but you're not there yet," and, I have a millions and millions of, you know, I was gonna say, like, decades, but, like, no, seconds to go to, like to be keep growing and, like, turning more into myself, but like this feels like me. This
Oh,
feels
yeah.
real, feels right. And I can't I can't imagine like anything going forward. Like, yeah, I'll take inspiration from the new pop punk and like new stuff that's coming out, but it's like I don't see Leah pushing it further than this. Like I'm not going metal. I'll have metal elements in my music sometimes, but like, we've reached that and like we're here to stay.
I feel like the best way as I was listening to the songs and getting geared up for this, I think the best way I could describe it is that I feel like the new stuff you're releasing is authentic. Like I think there was something about it beforehand where it was like I don't want to say it was like played to a bit almost, but it was like I could see it was just like, okay, I'm gonna put the like pop Leah mask on right now, and this is
That's
what you're
so
gonna get.
accurate.
This is what you're gonna get, right? And then everybody's like, yo, take the mask off, Leah. Come on, just we know deep in your heart,
Lean into it.
you
Yeah,
wanna you
lean
wanna
into
do the pop punk alt stuff. Like, come on, just do it. And then you're like, all right, guys, I'm gonna give you what you want, but if you're wrong, then like
it.
it's over with, and then you did it, and then you're like, "Nah, you
Yeah.
guys are right. Oh, damn, I should have done that
Nah.
shit."
Exactly, exactly. Hopefully, like, I think I did a good job transitioning from like the pop because I kind of used Jersey Boy that EP as that little like bridge to get over because I don't,
That's important,
we,
yeah.
we we see people all the time, which is like it's fine, but I don't know if it always works. Like they go from one genre and then they're like, "Oh, this genre's big. Let me just do it now." And it's like, "Well, how did you get there? Like, are you sure about it?" And so this kind of eased like myself. It's not just for me too, but like mostly my listeners,
Sure, yeah.
into the little bit more of the alternative stuff and myself and into it. And that's where we landed.
Well, I'm glad you're here to stay because, like I said, all of the songs that I've listened to thus far, like my sister's like, her and I are like polar opposite in terms of like music listening. There's some bands like when we were growing up where we would just be like, these are our safe bands. These are these bands we both like that we can listen to. So I feel like I passed off some Leah stuff to her, and she was just
Yeah.
like, "Yo, this is good." And I said, "Wow, oh, like, you give me a compliment. This is sick. I love that." Like so.
That's awesome. Well, tell
So
her
she
thank you.
yeah,
Wow.
she was like, "This is great, like, this is, like" I mean, she likes like pop punk and that sort of stuff, and I feel like I like converted her a little bit into like heavier music, so she does like heavier music now. She hasn't quite converted me to country music just because I'm not gonna allow it to happen, but that's me, so
Felt.
I just can't do it, and I don't know how you do it because you live in Nashville, like you live in in
Yeah.
Tennessee, so I'm like, ooh.
That's also new to me, I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, I only moved here about a month ago, and for
Okay.
half of that time, or even I was in Jersey, so I was doing some shows up
Okay, yeah.
there, so I haven't been here long enough. There's a lot of country around. I will listen to some country. I'll have to if I'm in an environment and it's very yeehaw, like the music should be yeehaw for the environment, and I will fully embrace that and like I'll jam out, like, I'm not hiding anything, like, I'm this alternative girl, like, singing a country song if I know the words, I'll be there, but I'm not, like, sitting in my car, like, all
You
listening
don't
to it
have the
on
windows down, just, like, cranking some, like,
no,
I got you,
I
respect.
will not be. It's just I can respect it and I can appreciate it. I don't love a lot of country music, but there's some really good catchy country music, and then there's just some, like, good, like, old school country
I
that's
got
just
you, yeah. I'm like
nice.
an old head in country, like, I think if I was to like country music, it would just be, like, the people that weren't, like, the, like, pop, like, country music. The only ones that I really have enjoyed recently were, like, Casey Musgrave. I think she's
Yeah.
great, I think it's more, like, closer to the singer-songwriter-y sorta stuff,
Yep.
like, that's why I like it, but I can't just do the, like, "Let me talk about my tractor, how many beers I've drank this just in this song session," like, can't
Nope.
nah, I can't
Nope.
do it. That's where I stop. The line is drawn,
Yep, same.
but I love that. And also, again, shouts to I love that again, you're from the Jersey scene as well, that's my home away from home, so I love it as well. So big salutes. But the next question I have for you, Leah, is what was obviously to kind of tie in the storyline about, how you started doing, Leah and doing what you're doing now. What were some of the first artists that you either saw on like TV or on YouTube that you were like, I want to do that. That seems sick. Like I want to be in a band or like I want to start singing in front of people. That seems awesome.
Oh my goodness. Well, I feel like because you said it, like TV, I have to definitely go all the way back to like my first like CD I've ever bought and like the first like television commercial that I bought or that I like bought from.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, yeah.
I was like 3, like my mom obviously did. But
Your mom
um
put the credit card information. I got you. Yeah.
yeah, 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 but I mean, because I have, like, pop punk answers for, like, what I, like, looked up to, like, in middle school and high school growing up, but, like, that first TV commercial was Dream Street. I don't know if you know Dream
No,
Street.
no, no, no.
No,
It
come
is
on.
ringing some bells, but I
90s
had to go
boy
back.
band.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. Say
yeah.
less. Yeah.
But they were like I wouldn't say they inspired me to do music, but it's like I saw them on the TV and then I bought their like live perform this is all from the 90s and I was like, "Oh, that is cool stuff. I love that." And that was like I discovered that. Like my mom like raised me on classic rock and jazz, which is awesome because I
Nice.
love,
Oh
love,
yeah.
love, love all of that.
Same.
So and, like, even, like, Air Supply and the Beach Boys, like, they were like even though my mom influenced me from that, I feel like, I would watch or listen to them and, like, I was like, "How many videos, would there be out of that?" But I guess live performances they would have covered and whatnot. So, yeah, very, very random answers that don't really have anything to do with the sound I make today, but, like, you said, like, the
Sure.
first
Yeah.
thing
No.
you
Yeah.
saw, and I was like, I had to tell the story.
Also just curious on like how far back people can like go mentally, right? Like that's kind of like my instinct is like, wow, like I remember watching like I don't know like Fuse TV stuff like that. Like I think it like my first memory was either watching um like an All American Rejects like music video on Fuse or something, and be like, this is the hardest
Yeah.
new like emo rock band,
Oh, that also like, speaking of memories you could just think about, I that Okay, so that makes me feel good too about this because I would listen to a lot of like Panic at the Disco and like Fall Out Boy like when
Yeah,
I was
yeah, yeah.
younger too. But I remember the first time I heard Swing Swing by
Oh,
All American Rejects. Like I remember
so
how like
good.
I think I was like 6 or I don't know how old that song is. Maybe I was
We'll
not
look it up. I'm gonna look it up.
I don't
We're
remember. But like when it must have had come out, it was on the radio and I was like in the backseat of my babysitter's car and I had just like bought a toy from those like quarter machines
Oh,
and like
nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
these toys were, like, called, like, the homies, and they were, like, these little figures that you would, like, collect, and then Swing Swing from All American Rejects came on, and I was like, "This is the best band I've ever heard in my
I
life,"
love
and,
this
like
band. Yeah.
and it's so true because, like, they are absolutely incredible, and I love all their music, but, yeah, I feel good having a memory, like, that far back
Yeah,
that's,
yeah, yeah.
like, in the genre I'm writing today. It makes me feel validated.
Yeah. Well, you got. I'll listen. If anybody was to just not give you the street cred, I would let them know in the comments. If someone commented against Leah, I can't have that. Not we're not allowing that to happen
I
here.
appreciate
I
it.
did come out in 2002, so that's when Swing
Yeah.
Swing came out.
Oh,
So
so
perfect
I
timing.
was
Yeah.
literally spot on. I think I was about 7 or 8. 7, I
Wow.
think.
Okay. Yeah. We're old as
Cool.
shit.
Yep,
But I love that.
surviving.
That's awesome, and I think that's kind of like I think that was pretty close to like the introduction of when I got into like emo, like My Chem, Fall Out Boy, Weezer, Green Day,
Yeah.
Blink, like all of those bands that obviously like very much influenced my life going further after that point. So that's great.
You
So
know what influenced me, like, a lot of that music too, and I'm so grateful for it because I feel like this video game has introduced so many kids who's, like, maybe they're not raised around, like, rock music. Guitar Hero,
oh
like, is such a huge reason why I love rock music in like, whether it's classic or, like, pop punk or rock, it's like, it literally is Guitar Hero's fault.
we should have been friends much sooner. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't. You are hitting all the nails on the head for me right now. So
Nice.
we oof. Why Jersey? Why are you doing this to me? Like Lee and I could have been just best friends before
That's
this
what I'm
point.
saying, I feel like I really coulda, like, integrated myself earlier, but, like, I just there's some people that are ahead of the game and they grind from the start, like, they're, like, in high school and they're like, "I wanna start a band and meet everyone in this."
Yeah. Oh my
Like,
God.
I didn't do that until, like 5 years ago, you know?
It's also like I feel like there's I find that artists are either like socially extroverted where they're just like I know everybody in this town in Florida that no one else knows, right? And then also in the same vein, you have people that are like completely introverted, but like for whatever reason, when they get on stage, like the light switch goes off and
Yeah.
then it switches over. And I think I'm that because originally, before
Mm.
I did YouTube, I was like the quiet kid, didn't say anything, went to shows. Like, I didn't even like have my arms crossed. I would just enjoy the show and like be there and be present. And
Yeah.
now I'm like, when I go to a show, it's like people are like, "Oh man, what's going on, Brandon? How you doing?" Like, and like a bunch of other people will be like, "Oh, you know Brandon?" And they're like, "Oh, you guys are touring together? Oh, that's fucking sick," like, and it's crazy. So I
It's a
find that
progress. You
it's a
start one
progress.
place and then you
Yeah,
get the other place, yeah.
that's what happens. The touring fam is real. So big salutes to my touring homies. I love seeing you. But the next question I have for you, Leah, is like obviously as you mentioned before, that the earlier on artists obviously don't give you a better representation of your music now. So who are currently bands or artists that influence you, as more recent?
Ooh, okay. As of more recent, I feel like this is ever changing.
Sure. Yeah.
I have a couple that are always gonna like stay the same. But obviously, like Mayday Parade is a
Oh
big
yeah.
one.
The goat.
They've I always tell everyone. I think I said this in the Nick Major interview too. But it's like they were some of there was like one of the first bands that I like discovered pop punk myself with. No one like handed me a CD or like gave me a playlist and was like, listen to this band Mayday Parade. I was just like, wow, how did I find this? I love this music, you
This is
know?
insane. Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely Mayday Parade. I feel like I don't know, Go Radio is kind of in the same
Ooh
realm.
yeah.
Um, Hollywood Undead is a big one for me. Listen
Wow.
to them a lot in like the end towards the end of middle school and whatnot. So that was definitely one. I know like Hollywood Undead, like Swan Songs, and then like that LMFAO CD were like my favorite CDs of like my 8th grade year. And they're so polar opposite. It's
Oh yeah.
like who would put LMFAO and like Hollywood Undead in the same like category? Like I would. I don't know. Why was I listening to both of those at the same time? Who knows? But it inspired me.
I got you.
Um
I got you. I got you.
yeah, I mean, those are like bigger artists, definitely. But I would say like, artists on the come up or just like that I like to listen to like for pleasure, just like, putting on my Spotify, like Charlotte Sands,
Ooh.
Magnolia Park, 408, all those artists that are doing the thing and all around the same kind of age and, making the same genre of music. It's inspiring.
Yeah, it's good to see. It's good
Yeah.
to see the pop punk wave is like going strong. I think like alt
Oh, yeah.
pop punk has been in a good spot. So let's keep it that way, guys. I just want to say that would be great, for me and also Leah, because like we would be doing this for like a long ass time, and that'd be great. So listen, if you like Leah, like check the links below. This is the best way to find out what she's doing, and like I'm a super fan now, so like you best bet she drops a new song, reaction videos coming. So hopefully
Yeah.
soon. Hopefully I don't have to wait much longer for new. So but very very excited. But for people who had checked out this video, Leah, and have not heard of you before, because there's a good chance that might be the case. There's a lot of music out there. What song would you recommend to a new listener to check out first to kind of give them an idea of your sound?
Ooh, I feel like mm, my brain wants to like list off the song that's doing the best now because
Give
it's
me
really
one.
great.
Give me one like that you feel like is the one that you feel like you should say, and then give me a second, like a runner up. I feel like
Yeah,
I can't
okay.
do that to you. I can't have you
I
pick
feel
one.
like thank you. I can't pick one of anything
I
like in
got you.
any scenario. See, you could tell by my hair. Like,
It's
come
the
on.
hair, yeah.
But,
That oh yeah. I was gonna point that out, but I didn't want it to be too on the nose.
oh, that's okay. The I guess the first one, and I think this is the one I usually send to people when they like if they haven't heard my music
Sure,
yet,
sure,
is I
sure.
guess I like you anyway.
Ooh.
Just because I feel like it's I wrote it so easily, like, it literally was just, like, the easiest song I've ever I feel like I say that a lot about a lot of songs, but I don't know, it was just, like, it was catchy, it
It
was
came
easy, and then
naturally.
yeah, yeah, and then anytime, like, someone compliments my music, they're like, "Oh, this one's so catchy," and I'm like, "Cool, that's the goal," 'cause, like, I don't know, that's the pop element of pop punk that I still, like, need to stay true to is,
Oh yeah.
we have all the instruments that sound like pop punk, but, like, is it catchy? Does it have a hook? Does it hit? And I
Yeah,
try to
yeah.
make it like that. So
I
that's
feel
that
it.
one. And then, the other one would probably be FTS just because
Ooh.
I don't know, it does it's been like cruising really well on streaming for months since it came out. So I'm grateful for that.
There you go. Keep the stream flow going. Guys, listen. I
Trying.
I want
Yeah.
Leah to be the next big thing, so then I can tell all of you that I found out about Leah before she blew up. So I
Yeah.
just want to say
Nice.
I want to be on the number one, like just below Nick Major. If we're maybe like a little bit neck and neck, I'll take that. But close. Like I want to be close. So guys, help me out.
Yeah.
Help Leah out. That'd be sick. Also, check the
Yeah.
links below. There'll be links to all that. The next question I have for you, Leah, is obviously you talked about it in the interview with Nick. I know we keep referencing it, but it's hard not to. Um, but you got to work with an emo icon, Kellen Quinn.
Yeah.
You did talk about how you got that going, but man, how was your reaction when he like hit you back up and was like, "Yeah, let's rock, let's do it," Because I imagine, much like me, I love the first two Sleeping with Sirens albums. To be fair, I want to be transparent. I have not listened to much after that. I've kind of dabbled, listened to a few songs, but the OG, the first two albums, always going to be like a soft spot in my heart. But how is that getting that email and being like, "Yeah, that'd be sick, let's do it."
Yeah, it was definitely I was a lot of anticipation. I remember, like, talking with my mom, my producer, I think, like so my mom and Chase Coy, who's been producing some stuff for me, I was like going back and forth with both of them, and I'm like, "Is this gonna happen? Will I get the email today?" And my mom's like, "This is a scam," and I'm like, "No, it's not. I promise. Like, I really think that if he likes it, he'll reach out. Like, I promise it's not. I really don't think it is." But yeah, just like seeing a message, I saw it happen. Well, I was gonna say a lot sooner than I thought it would because I've been like, as I don't know, like how collaborations go. I feel like
Oh
they
yeah.
either go or they just drag on forever until they don't happen. At least that's been my experience, unfortunately. But it also could be I'm just not quite experienced in like the whole collaborative world. But
Sure, sure, sure.
I was I expected if I was gonna get a response back, it would be like like months down the line, and I was just like, let's just see what happens.
Shoot your
And
shot. Yeah.
it was a lot sooner than I thought, and honestly, I don't remember the exact moment I got the email, but I remember I still have the emails that of him being like, "Yeah, this is sick. I love this. Like, let me get you back something." And then immediately he was like super fast, and that song was done before anticipated it to be done. And I was like, "All right, the EP is done. Like, this is the title track of the thing. Like, we're going with it. This is it. That's it. It's great."
That's wild. Like, shout outs to Kellen. That's amazing. Well,
Such a
hopefully you
fun
guys
guy to
get to work
work with.
again.
He's so
Yeah,
great.
hopefully you get to work again with him. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
But that leads into segues into the next question that I'm going to ask you, Leah, which is, if you had a dream collaboration you'd love to work with in the future, who would you want to pick? I feel like I got to again go with the dual choices as we've always been picking right now. What's one that you feel like is feasible and could definitely like feasibly happen, and what's one that's just like, look, we're
Um,
gonna manifest it, we're gonna do it. We might as well put it out into the universe. I'm gonna put the good chakra, you know, out there.
Dang. I've never thought of a feasible one. Um,
I think you could think of it. I think you could rack your brain and find a good one.
I know it's like the feasible ones though. I'm like, if it could
You
actually
might as
happen.
well,
You know,
shoot the shot. That's how I say.
I'm thinking. Oh my goodness. I guess like just based off of what I've been making and what I think would make sense. I feel like feasible would be Magnolia Park.
Ooh,
You
okay.
know, I just feel like our sounds really mesh and I'm mutuals with some of the members, so that would be really, really awesome, and I think that could be cool. Um, unfeasible or like
I wouldn't say
not
unfeasible.
possible. No,
I would say manifest. I don't want to
right,
put a negative spin to it because I think it's a you gotta believe. I
right.
feel
Well, I'm sorry, I'm gonna pick 2 for this because one of them makes sense with the music I'm making, and the other one is just something I wanna do because I think it would be cool as hell,
fair, fair,
but
fair, fair, fair.
definitely Hollywood Undead. That I would definitely say them because I feel like that would be badass and really awesome. And then I've always wanted to like do a collaboration with Buck Cherry. I feel like that's really random,
Wow.
but I really love like singing Crazy Bitch at karaoke, and I just think that a collaboration would be awesome.
Oh my
It
god.
happens, I promise. I
I
thought
like how
about that
that's the
too.
selling point of getting Buck Cherry on is just like I want to sing this fucking song. I
Not
love to say
Crazy Bitch, we're gonna write a whole new one.
I know, but I just meant like that was the sentiment that you had to share with people is that you love singing that song at karaoke, so therefore your love of that song has to transfer into a
Well,
collaboration.
that's how, and it kinda I mean, it kinda manifested, it kinda worked. That's how Lollipop came about, the Framing Hanley version, which is I'm throwing out there as another feasible, collaboration that could be really cool to happen. But, yeah, I sang Lollipop, the Framing Hanley version, at karaoke all the time to what the point I was like, "Why don't I just cover it and release it as a cover?" But it's gonna be their cover of it. And then, Framing Hanley found me through that, and then we became mutuals. And it's like, because I did the karaoke song and I
That's
released it,
true.
and like,
Yeah, there you go.
that song did pretty well too. Like it got on like We Are Triumphant's compilation album for the punk covers or the pop punk covers or whatever. It's just like So, what if Crazy Bitch can do that? I don't know. I'm just thinking about it. I'm just thinking about it.
I don't know. But listen, guys. If you've been on the channel, I believe very much in manifestation. So this is what I need you to do. I need you to go on your phone. I need you to tag Leah. I don't know what Leah's handle is. I think it's lolitslea, but I'm
Yes,
not.
you're right.
I got it. See, my knowledge on point tonight. It's lolitslea, and then I need you to tag Magnolia Park, Hollywood Undead, Buck Cherry, and Framing Hanley, and then
So random.
type the word collab, and then put question mark. And listen, I didn't go to law school. I am not qualified to say if this is actual law or not. But I do say that I've been on the internet for a long time, and normally things on the internet could be true, potentially, so, uh, if you want to like kind of like retweet it or share it, like put it on your story, somebody knows somebody. That's all I'm saying, so
Exactly. Let's make it happen.
let's make it happen. I want Leah to like DM me after and be like, holy shit, I can't believe this. They hit me up. Oh my God, that's amazing. Especially Buck
That's so
Cherry.
funny. Yeah,
That
it's
you
so
really.
random. I just love I don't even know the lead singer's name. I just love his voice. It's so good. So
At least
good.
know his name, man. Like, I feel like that's.
Um, cut that out. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, it's not even on their
It's
bio.
not an important factor.
I know what he looks like. That's all
That's
that matters.
okay. Yeah, that's true. I also know what he looks like, but I don't know his name either. So, anyway, just do it. It's gonna be great. So just hit make sure to share it. That'd be sick. I love that answer. That was great.
Thanks.
Speaking about covers, I know you did do the Lollipop cover. I gotta give a salutes to that because I remember when Framing Hanley originally did it, and I was like, yo, this is kind of hot. Like, I like this, and I didn't think they were gonna be able to do it justice. That's a little Wayne track. Like, that's kind of wild
Yeah.
that they crushed it into more of a like emo rock sort of thing. So big salutes to them. But I have to ask, Leah, if there was another song that you wish you could cover, what song would it be?
Ooh. Oh, I usually have. Um.
It was the Buck Cherry answer that just kind of threw you off. I get it.
Yeah. I mean, well, because that would be my one that I'd say I want to cover. But also, I don't know. This answer could definitely change. There's two answers, of
Okay,
course.
of
I have
course.
like
I love
a
this.
list a list of karaoke songs that I usually like. It's like a list of like 20 to 30 songs that I usually like. If I'm with my friends and we're at a karaoke bar, I'm like, "What song do you want to hear?" I'll sing it, and I'll give them my phone, and they'll just pick out of the list. But I feel like the ones that I like resort to are usually like, well, I don't know. It's usually like a Neon Trees song or Jonas Brothers song,
Okay. Jonas
and
Brothers, respect.
I feel like I'd cover both those artists, but take like a pop punk twist
Okay.
to
Okay.
it. So that's not a song necessarily, but it could be really cool. Like the amount of times that I've been in a karaoke bar and sang "Burning Up," and
Oh,
there's just like a bunch of like people that are my age or younger or like a little bit older, and like they go crazy for that
I
song,
love
and
that
it's
song.
really fun to see it. So
I feel like I'm obligated to like the Jonas Brothers because they're a New Jersey band, But I also genuinely like that. There's no cap on that. I'm dead serious. I love the Jonas Brothers.
love
Fight me
them
in the
too. They're
comments.
so good.
Fight me in the comments. I
Are
dare
we
you.
supposed to not like them? I mean, they're great. They're so
I don't know.
talented. Music's amazing.
I will say, I feel like pop music is way more acceptable to listen to. If we asked this question about 5 years ago, I'm pretty sure we would get like bullied off the internet. So now pop's acceptable to listen to. So now you can listen to pop, guys. You've heard it here first. You're allowed to. If you listen to metal music, you are allowed to listen to pop music. I know, crazy concept, wild, but would love to hear it. I think I like Burning Up. I feel like that would be a good one.
I think it's too popular to like for me to want to record it and release it, and
Sure, sure,
like
sure.
it's kind of a little cliche. But I would probably be more like a Jonas Brothers deep cut. Like I was listening, or I was not listening to it. I was just singing it. Shelf by the Jonas Brothers. That's a good one.
Ooh, that's a good one. I was thinking about Love Bug. I think that would be kind of interesting.
That would be good.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you could crush that. I could hear it. I can hear the Leah
I'll think
melodies
about
going on in my head now. You know, I could hear that popping off. You know, that's
it.
my
Yeah,
metaphorical token in the pot. You know.
I'll take it.
All right. Well, guys, let us know if you like these options. Let us know down in the comment section below, or if you'd like to offer your suggestion up to the Leah God right now, drop them in the comments as well. I can't guarantee she's going to do it because I have no control over other people's free will. So please, you know, if you feel so obligated to do it, just tag her on social media, and then she might have to. So I
Yeah.
don't know, but very cool. The next question I have for you, Leah, you kind of alluded to it a little bit earlier, and I also allude to it all the time. I'm a huge nerd. I feel like that's pretty obvious for most people. But if you could be a video game character, who would you be?
Oh, who would I be? Okay, I'm basing this off of a recent obsession. Like it wouldn't be I wouldn't say this would be like my answer forever,
Okay,
but this is gonna be like so nerdy, but
I
I've
love
just
it.
been like dying to talk about it. And
Now's the moment.
I'll even show you a photo. There is this so I don't know if you know the game Bugsnax.
I just saw you post about it last night, and I was like, "What the fuck's this?" I literally was walking up the steps, like about to go to bed, and I was like, "Oh, I wonder what Leah's doing." And then I like looked at this story, and I was like, "Bugsnax, what's this game?"
Well, I
Give me
have this
you got to give me a synopsis of this game after
yes.
too.
Well, I'll do that really quickly now because I have to, work up to what I'm about to say,
You
or
got to
it's like
plug it.
it's
You
gonna
got to
make
plug it.
no
Yeah,
sense.
I got you.
Yeah. So I mean, just for like some reference background history on it, I believe it came out in either 2020 or 2021, but it was a PlayStation exclusive, and I
Ah,
only own a Switch. I don't own any
same.
other
I
systems.
only own a
So
Switch. Yeah.
and that's kinda like how I don't know if I wanna keep it that way, but I've said I wanna keep it that way, but, like, I'm getting really excited for, like, GTA 6 too, and I'm like,
Woo!
"Well, that's not gonna play on the Switch very well." So
No, it's not.
but anyways, so it was PlayStation exclusive, but then once it hit the Switch, like, a whole new community started, like, finding it,
Pop it off.
and
Yeah.
that's kinda when I found it, which was kinda late. I think I found it this year, so I only, like, discovered it this year, which is, like, 2 or 3 years later, but, um moral of the story, it's like these weird characters that go on this island and they catch bugs. So a lot of people say it's like Pokemon. I'm sorry to say have not really played Pokemon. I wasn't really into Pokemon. I was more into like I played a lot of like the Mario games and Guitar Hero and stuff. So sorry. I'm not a Pokemon
I
hater.
know,
I
I know,
just
I know.
like
I'm just being a little baby
uh,
about it.
I picked Yu-Gi-Oh before Pokemon when it
Oh,
came to that stuff when I
no.
was
That's
little.
worse. At least if you just left it as I don't play Pokemon, then I
Oh
could live with that.
no. I mean,
That
I
was
blame my
oh.
cousins.
I'm just kidding. I'm not
But
like that.
but I heard it's similar in I don't think I've played it. I've played Pokemon before, like on the
Okay,
Game Boy, but I just never really it didn't really stick with me. But
I got you.
it's not the same as in like there's different bugs and characters and stuff, and you can catch them, but there's like really like you're not battling. Like there's like techniques on how to catch them, and then you like feed them to like they're called grumpuses, but they're like the townspeople. And they have their own storyline of like this it's just like drama. Like everyone in the island is like they split up after they found the island. They like love these bug snacks and they're like your goal is to get them back on the island or like get them back onto like that one town on the island and get them to like reconnect and hash out all their problems and stuff. And so like the whole gameplay you're like getting really connected to all these grumpuses and or these townspeople and you're like emotionally like figuring out their story. And then obviously I'm not going to spoil the ending, but it's like it's really dark. Like if you look at any of the YouTube videos of it, it's like a children's horror game because it's supposed to be like rated E 10 and up, but it's like psychologically like insane. And so whatever, anyway, so that's the premise of the story. Do with that what you will, but there's a character in it and it's called a so all the bug snacks are named like after like a bug and a snack. So there's like Bunger, there's like Scoopy Banoopy, like which is like a banana split. I literally
This is
sound like
great.
I'm like not making sense. It's
Someone
so
high is
random.
gonna be like, "Yo, I know exactly what you're talking about, man." I love
I
that.
promise I'm getting there. But then there's this character or like it's a bug snack called a praying picantis or like, it's like a
I
praying
have to look
mantis.
this up. I have to look
Well,
this
no,
up.
I was gonna like I have the photo here. And
I like how you
it's
just have it
literally
on your phone. I respect that.
that's because I was just like thinking last night, I was like, man, I want to get a tattoo of this.
I was like, I swear to God, if she gets that tattooed on her, oh
But I'm like, I have to think on this because I
yeah,
there's
that's
so
a good,
many other like video game
yeah.
characters I want to get tattooed first. But anyway, it's made out of like a tortilla chip, some spicy pepper, like a burrito in the back, and some tacos. And it
I
makes
love
like
this.
I'm not saying the noise. I'm gonna leave this up to you to look up, but all the like bug snacks have their own voices and the voice that this one makes, like, is the best thing I've ever heard in my life,
All
and
right.
I'll walk around, like, my house and just, like, say the character's voice and, like, just mimic it and, like, but that's it.
I'm gonna throw that sound clip in here right now. So
Please
yeah.
do. It's so amazing. I absolutely love it. It's the best thing ever.
I
Um,
You sound
so
really
I would
dedicated to it, so I respect.
It's just because I just finished the game yesterday. I
Sure.
mean, I'm like, because 'cause I'm a big fan of, like, Oxenfree and, like, After Party,
Oh,
and
nice. Yeah.
Oxenfree 2 just came out, and I finished Bugsnax so I could play Oxenfree 2. So, once I play Oxenfree 2, I'll probably be talking about that all the time, but I had to now
I
mention
respect that.
Bugsnax.
Listen, Bugsnax, you should be getting at Leah, so she can play your next game that you guys are gonna be making. I'm just saying.
I wanna write a song for it, like, Caro Caro Bonito did their theme song.
Oh, I love Caro Caro Bonito.
You're
Shouts.
right? I
They're
didn't even
sick.
realize that they did it. There was, like, a YouTube video I was watching last night. After I beat games, I go on YouTube and I
You
watch,
watch the
like
playthroughs? Oh,
well, not only I watch, like, the crazy like, I like to see other people's interpretations of the storyline.
I got you.
So,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
one of the videos were just, like, the theme song told you about, like, the plot all along. You just had to listen to the words, and it was, like, so intense for no reason, but they talked about, like, every lyric of the theme song, and I was like, "Oh my goodness."
I respect the dedication. I love that. So yeah, big salutes, Bugsnax. I haven't played it, but I feel like Leah gave me a reason to go take a look at it on Switch right now. So
At
who
least watch
knows?
the trailer. Watch the
I'll
trailer and
watch
make
the
sure you
trailer.
listen to the praying picantis or, sound effect or whatever, you know?
I will. I think that will be added
Mhm.
onto my list. Though right now I'm playing Tears of the Kingdom, so that's been taking up my
Ah,
free time.
I need to play that. I have, like, this rule that I'm not gonna play it until I beat Breath of the Wild,
Oh, you
and
gotta beat that. That's great.
I'm scared of the Guardians, that the robot that
Yes.
I just can't get myself to go into Hyrule, and
Oh,
so
don't
I just
worry. It's gonna
put
get
my
way
foot
worse.
down.
This game is so
Oh,
brutal. It's like you thought the first game was brutal. Oh man, it is. That first I want to preface. Listen, Leon and I are gonna be nerds for a hot second, so I hope you're okay with that. I feel
I
like
was
most of
already
you are.
bored.
We're
Nothing you
already.
say after what I said is gonna be worth it.
I don't know. I can get pretty nerdy on here, but I will say like that first like hour or two into the game is a slog. Like it is like you are just like, why did they make this game so hard, right? And then you
Oh, I don't think I can do it then.
it's good though. I don't know. I'm maybe a masochist a little bit because I'm just like I need to beat this, right? Like I'm not going to bed until this shrine is beaten or like this part
Right,
is
right.
beaten. Call it what you will, but I got through most of it. I'm about probably halfway through the game right now, just because I've dedicated like all of my free time to doing that. So if you have seen a lack of reaction videos, it's because I'm reacting to me playing Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. It's great. Go pick it up if you can. Nintendo sponsor Leah and I. That'd be sick. I'm just saying. I don't. I talk about you guys all the time. I'm just saying. A care package would be really sick. I'm just
Story
saying.
of my life.
I'd
Like,
be
just at least notice me. Just
yes,
notice me.
yes. I would be so sick if Nintendo is just like, yeah, check out Audio Addiction. I would flip shit.
Aw.
And then I would shout out Leah. I'd be like, Can you shout out Leah, please? Thank you. They'd be like, yeah,
Ugh.
Leah, shout outs. And I'd be like, oh, all right, let's go, rock. So. But yeah, I feel like that one. But I get you on the like Mario games. I'm like, I feel like Mario games are just like classic. You know, you can like literally play them with all your friends, and it's just like everybody knows. Like, you know, you make a lot of friends and also enemies playing like Mario Party or like Mario Kart. You know, so I
Mm.
respect that.
Yeah, that and Sims. Like even the Sims games, like, the ones with the storylines for like the DS and the Game Boy Advance and stuff like that. Those not like, I mean, I like computer Sims. Like I play that all the time too, but the storyline ones were so good. Like some of my favorite all-time favorite games were like Sims like on the DS. So that stuff's really good too.
You
Just
were
saying.
very. I gotta give you a lot of props because you were very hard selling The Sims. Like you were like in that interview, you were just like Sims all day, every day, Sims for life. You know, like I
I
was
was
like,
probably playing it again at that time. It's literally like if I'm like playing it or is when I'll talk about it more because like I'll go through phases like I'll sit and play Sims for like 4 days straight and then I won't play for like 3 months and then I'll pick it up again and if I feel like it because but that's
I
probably
got
why.
you. Yeah, you were just like hard selling Sims. You're like, yo, pick up Sims, links below, you know, like use affiliate
My
link,
affiliate
Leah
link.
10, you know. Yeah, I thought for sure you were gonna hit I thought for sure they were gonna pop up like an affiliate link. It's like use Leah 10 to get 10% off your next Sims purchase. You know, I was like, damn, all right, Nick, respect, you know, but that didn't happen. So Sims, where were you at? I'm just saying. Leah's spreading the gospel of Sims. I mean, I
Yeah, they
don't
have to make it for the Switch for me to like. They don't have it on the Switch, and that's a huge problem. Like EA, what are you doing?
yeah, where you at, EA? Come
Bring
on.
Herbs, Sims in the City
Where are you at? Where you
to
at,
the
huh?
Switch.
Yeah. Sims to the Switch. All right, cool. All right, thank you. Yeah, that was the CEO. So, we're gonna get right on that, guys. Don't worry. Um, well, we took a very detoured tangent to video game land, which I'm all about. I'm a nerd, so I respect that. Big salutes to Leah for the answers. Bugsnatch, I almost had an instinctual feeling that you were gonna pick that, and I'm glad. I'm glad you stuck to your guns. It takes real gusto for that. So I love that. But next question I have for you is if you were to compile a dream tour lineup, obviously including yourself,
Oh,
who would you love to go on tour with?
oh my goodness. Make this so hard. I feel like I have to rotate through like the 10 bands that I always talk about and like I don't know who to pick. Oh my goodness. Dream. Okay, okay. I feel like this would fulfill my inner child like needs to happen. Definitely Secondhand Serenade. He's also
Oh,
popping off in different countries right now. I don't think he's had an American show in a long time. I actually don't know, but I always see he's like, touring a different country, like a different month of the year, and that's like badass,
yeah,
definitely.
so
But
sick.
definitely, yeah, definitely Secondhand Serenade. That's just like I don't know, because that's just I love his music. He's one of my favorite like lyricists,
Sure.
writers.
Oh yeah,
And that would be really cool to get to open
and
for
cry
for
every night. Yeah, I got you. Respect.
yeah. So definitely that. I don't know. There's just a ton of artists that I feel like it'd be really cool to go on tour with. Yeah, I think about it every day.
I like
I
how
do.
it was like I thought about every day gives one artist.
No, I could, but I'm telling you, I could give like dozens, but it's hard to pick
Oh,
one. That's why
I'm
I was like,
sure.
oh, let me
Yeah.
get the OG.
I feel like, I gotta throw it back to Geo. Salute to the boy, Taylor Acorn and Leah. Where you at? Come on.
That'd be cool.
I'm just
That'd
saying.
be actually we Taylor and I did have a show together once. We actually we it was at emo night Brooklyn in Asbury.
What?
Wait, there it's back. Is it back?
Oh my god, yeah. Holy shit.
I like opened the message thing and I was about to type it rose and like see if you could read it, but
Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh
uh,
shit, my pants. That was that you like and I was like, oh god. That was great.
no,
I did
I'll
we broke the internet with Taylor Acorn.
that happens a lot. No, I was saying that's where her and I met. We had a show together at Emo Night Brooklyn in Asbury Park like 2 years ago. So that was cool.
Wow. Taylor, where you at? Come on. Let's do it. Leah, Taylor Acorn. I get to see two of my homies. Just saying. Kind
I
of
I
sick.
feel like we could make it happen.
I
It's not far fetched.
All right, Gio, come on, man. Let's do it. I can't be convinced that I'm gonna call him Gio from now on. That's all I'm saying. Gio, I just can't, man. You're always gonna
Is
be
that
George.
like not his name? I feel like because
I
I had a conversation with him about that because he introduced himself to me as Geo, I believe. Yeah.
I feel like he's just trying to be edgy, man. That's what it comes down to. I don't know. I've known him for like 7 or 8 years now. So I feel like for me, it's like I gotta call him George, man. He's George.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't
That
call
makes
him
sense.
I don't call him Geo, but if you want to call him Geo, that's good. I respect that. Maybe he's just trying to find a new edge. I respect that. I gotta take that. But yeah, Taylor Acorn, Secondhand Serenade. Who are we filling this trifecta with? I feel like we can add one more onto this list.
One more.
One more. Yeah, let's do it. We're gonna fill it out. I think. I have
Oh
faith.
man. I'm like, what would be really cool? I feel like there's so many people that I could oh man. I don't know. Oh, I don't know. I feel like I feel like part of me keeps thinking of like meet me at the altar would be incredible. Like that would
Ooh.
be a really fun. That would be a really cool tour. I think
Oh. Yeah.
that would be super awesome. I don't know if I wouldn't say I wouldn't say our music's similar, but I've been compared to them a lot, which is a huge compliment. So, that could be a really cool tour. But yeah, I would throw them in there.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, there's just so many there's so many people. I don't know. I just
We just need to
anybody.
make the Leah Fest. Honestly, that's what it comes down to. Just saying.
Yeah. And yeah, it would be really hard to get everyone I want on it, but I would try.
You just gotta call them out. You just gotta tell them like you gotta be here. Only the coolest people are here. I'm just saying. That's what I would do. Like if I was to throw an audio addiction festival, I'd just be like, listen, you gotta show up, man. I'm just saying. Hottest festival of the summer.
That'd be a great name for a festival too. So,
Hey, listen, if this happens, Leah's on. I'm adding Leah onto the bill. I feel like I got
yes.
to. She was the one who's like, this is a hot festival, and that filled my ego up so much. So I feel like I gotta pay the favor and just be like, yo, Leah, you coming through? And she's gonna be like, no, I'm actually touring with Secondhand Serenade, Taylor Acorn, and meet me at the altar. And I'd be like, okay, respect.
That would also be a great lineup though. All of those bands.
There we go. Awesome. The next question I have for you, Leah, is obviously I know you have seen a lot of artists in your time, but in your opinion, who puts on a great live performance in terms of the artists you've seen?
Oh man, come on. Do I need to pull my list out for this too?
You
I feel
can
like
do whatever you want.
I had the
There's
karaoke
no
list.
rules.
I had the karaoke list memorized, but I don't have the concert list memorized
Oh,
yet.
I
It's
appreciate the
very
fact that you
long.
have a concert list. Like I don't, I want to
It's
undersell
like
that.
it's like really long.
Holy shit! Yeah, you do have a concert list. Fuck! Wow.
I've been keeping track since 2014, but no, before 2014. But it says before 2014, and then it's 2014. What was the question? Like the best live
Yeah,
performance?
best live performance in your opinion. I know it's gonna
Hmm.
be very divisive because you have a list. I didn't expect you to have a list. That's why this is
I
great.
mean, I feel like it. Okay. I feel like the obvious answer to me is like always good is probably gonna be the Paramore Fallout Boy show that I saw. That one for sure, because that was just in general an amazing
Oh,
performance.
shout out
Like
to Paramore.
no doubt. That's obvious it's gonna be great. Um, but then I wanna say really big fan of Jukebox the Ghost live. They
Ooh,
were really,
yeah.
really
Ooh,
good. Very
salute.
good live.
Yeah, great band.
Yes, very, very good band. And then did I see them? Oh, I saw them multiple times. I didn't even remember that. Um,
That's why you keep a list.
exactly. Yeah, I guess as far as like, I don't know.
I like your answers though. Jukebox to
I
go
would,
is underrated. Yeah.
yeah, I would pick those are my main. Okay, another one, The Offspring. That was a really fun
Ooh,
show. I
wow.
saw them at the Pony, like they were doing a full run of their album Smash, I think it's called.
Oh,
Um, and I knew every song off of that because I had like discovered them and been like, oh, I like this stuff, and then listened to that whole album over and over again. So that was fun because I knew like every single song, and like the crowd was crazy. Like
Oh,
that
I'm
whole
sure.
crowd was like hype as hell to be there, and that was really fun too. Because I've been to so many concerts where people, which is okay if you jam by standing, that is fine. But this crowd was
Just
excited.
like
Like nobody was standing still. Like everyone was moving.
yeah, the vibes were immaculate, as
Yeah.
those the kids say. I don't know. I'm getting old, so I'm trying to stay cool and relevant. But no, I love that. I also have to say Paramore is on my top list as well. I had the fortunate pleasure. Shout outs to my homie Jeffrey, best friend from grade school. Um, he went to the College of New Jersey, and one of the years for their college performance, they had Paramore headline and the Wonder Years Open, which is like a Philly
Oh, nice.
staple, you know? So it was just immaculate, you know?
That's
So I
awesome.
love that. I'll never forget that performance. And on top of that, Aaron Gillespie was playing drums for Paramore at the time. So it was just like the
Wow.
tribunal, you know, like you had all
Cool.
everybody there. So I love that. So shout outs to
Hell yeah.
Paramore. Hilly, I know you watch my show, and you'd obviously would love to collab with Leah. I mean, I feel like that's a given. So if you want to do that and then like come on the show, we could talk about it. That'd be kind of sick. I'm just saying. So
Hey, I'm what do you call it? Like this is it like the 7 degrees of I don't know what you call it, but it's like
it's a
I'm
seven
close.
degrees of separation.
I'm no, it's the where someone kind of is that what it is, right?
Yeah, it's
Where
a
you
seven
like you
degrees of
connect them?
separation. Yeah.
Yeah, because the good dye young, Haley Williams hair brand sent me hair dye. So I feel like I feel
She
like
knows you.
somebody knows me in a little sense. I don't know.
I'll put it out there. I feel the good energy. The energy you return is real. So I'll follow up on that one. But love that. The next question I have for you, Leah, is favorite TV show, favorite movie.
I don't watch a lot of TV or
Same.
movies.
Yeah. Well, movies
Um,
I watch sometimes, but
I feel like that's really really hard for me because I'll either like watch some really like niche reality. Not well, I guess it wouldn't. I don't know if it's like reality TV. It's like scripted reality, like Wife Swap or like Married at First Sight. Like I've just been like kind of watching
90
those.
Day Fiance. I got you.
Like, yeah, like those really crazy or like My Strange Addiction. Like I like weird stuff like that. I like a lot of horror movies. Like I'll go out to the theaters to see horror movies, but I won't normally come back being like, that's my new favorite movie of all time. I want to
I
watch it like a
I
million
hope
times.
not.
I mean, I kind of felt that way about The Shining. That's a really, really good movie. The Shining is
Okay.
a great, I
Classic,
mean,
yeah.
classic, great movie. But yeah, a TV show. I mean, I I don't watch it much anymore, but I had like a huge obsession with Degrassi, and I would
Nice,
like
nice.
watch like I don't know it all the way from like the 1980s when they had their like the first round of cast. Like I would watch all of those, and so I have like I just bought a shirt from Dumb Good. Shout out Dumb Good. They don't send me anything, but I wear their stuff proud. Um,
Where
but
you at, dumb goods? I'm just saying.
but I mean, my slime shirt's from Dumb Good, and every time I wear that, everyone
They're like,
freaks
"Oh my
out.
god, it's so sick. Where'd you
The
get that
iconic
from?"
slime shirt. Yeah, yeah. And so I bought like a Degrassi t-shirt. I'm excited for it to come in the mail, but I just bought it like yesterday. I don't buy clothes like ever usually either. I usually just like buy merch and stuff, but like to go online and make a purchase, like that's big. So I bought
Yeah.
this like old school Degrassi t-shirt and I'm so excited for it to come in so I could wear it. But I don't know. Those are my two random answers. They would probably be interchanged if I thought of other ones, but
I feel you. Yeah, I very rarely have time to watch TV. And most times I'm just playing video games. If anything, I'll put on like YouTube. I'll watch a lot of
I
YouTube
was
videos.
literally just gonna say that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I my YouTube like I binge YouTube like crazy. Especially game videos on YouTube, like just gaming, like gameplay. I was like
Yeah.
really getting into the speed runs of Bugsnax yesterday, but like just the speed run community has figured that game out as
Wow. All
well.
right.
But yeah, the random. But yeah,
Next
yeah,
time we have
I
Leah
prefer
on, she's
YouTube.
gonna be a Bugsnax speedrunner. I think that's what I'm thinking.
No, because they ruin I mean, I could never do it. They ruin the experience by skipping through, you know? Like, I know there's a community for it, but it's, like, almost disrespectful to the developers to, like, just completely disregard the game and, like, don't do anything. Like, it hurts a little bit. I'm not the developer, but it still hurts. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel it. It's like this little secondhand guilt. I feel like for
Yeah.
me, it's like I like to experience the game, but also at the same point, I'm like, man, how fast can this game be completed? Right? Like
Yeah.
it's like, whoa, this is insane. How did
It
they
is.
do this
It's so
game
different.
breaking thing? Like it's
Yeah.
wild. So
I agree. It's definitely crazy. It's crazy to watch.
I can't do it. Yeah, I don't have the willpower, or I'm not as big of a masochist enough to do it. So guys, if you're a speedrunner, you should check out Leah. I'm just saying can't support the Bugsnax speedrun community, but I feel like she's a speedrunner at heart. So check it out. That'd be really sick. The next question I have for you, Leah, is if you were trapped on a desert island for the next month, and there was one album you could bring with you to listen to, what album would it be?
One album.
One album.
Oh
I'm hitting
man.
you with the hard hitting questions.
Okay. I feel like
You can give two. I feel like you've been getting a lot of dual answers, so I'll give you
I
the
feel
two.
like we've been making an exception with you to have.
I'll give you this option. Yeah, we're homies
Well,
now. So
I think I don't know. Well, it would be my first choice would be either between Tame Impala's Inner Speaker or Lonerism. I don't know which one. I can't
ooh,
pick one.
okay.
I both of those albums, like, I've listened to, like, so religiously, like, together, I don't even remember which ones are on which album, so I'm like, I really have to sit down and listen to them both again to, like, decide.
You hit the shuffle. I
Um,
got you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I listen to it full, like, through sometimes, but yeah, I mostly hit the shuffle. But, I don't know, I feel like that's my one option, or I would do, like, Stardew Valley's, like, original soundtrack or, like, Animal Crossing's original
Ooh.
soundtrack. Like, imagine Animal Crossing's original soundtrack well, I think it'd have to be, like I don't know if it would be New Horizons or like Wild World or something, but just
Oh,
imagine
geez.
every hour and you're on that island,
And it
and then
changes
the
over.
song for the hour plays
Yeah,
on the island.
that'd be
Like,
hot. Yeah.
that would be really good. That'd be great, and you would just go through all the memories of, like, playing that game at that hour of the morning or of the afternoon, and it's just like and then you would just live in peace until you don't live anymore, you know?
Wow, that
That'd be
got
a great
really
way to
morbid really fast. You're like, yeah, we listened to the Animal
well, you
soundtrack
know what?
and Animal Crossing
I
soundtrack
just
and die.
I don't binge watch things, but I'll tell you why. I think it's because I think my roommate's away and I'm also in a new city, so I've been kind of binge watching like shows every once in a while because I'll have like a little bit more time just like acclimating to the city, whatever. But I forget what it's called, but it's like Keep Breathing, I think, is like that Netflix show of this girl who was in a plane crash and like gets stranded on an island by herself and she's like only there for a week and no one can find her and she like has to figure out how to survive. I don't know. I feel like my mind was just at that. That's why it like was morbid. I'm not gonna spoil the ending,
Okay,
but I
fair
just feel
enough.
like that's my mind was just like, "Oh, it's a very realistic depiction of, like, what would happen if you're stranded on an island." So that's just where my head went.
I just love how that's where it went, but your original answer was like Animal Crossing OST. Love that. I just thought it was the dichotomy of
Yeah.
like the positive like reinforcement of the music, and you're like, well, death's imminent. It's gonna happen.
It's I'm a realist, okay? I mean,
I am
I'm a big
too. Yeah.
optimist, but there's also a lot of
Yeah.
realisticness in there, so
Yeah,
gotta
no,
be
I
realistic.
I got you. You have enough realistic expectation to be like, you know what, there is a chance.
Yeah.
So I
Mhm.
got you. Those are both great answers. Obviously you pitched to my nerdism, so I feel like I have to go with the Animal Crossing one. But yeah, I'm big on that. I love listening to like when I'm editing videos. I'm a big like Nintendo lo-fi listener. So like it's like people
Mhm.
who like mix up all of like Nintendo's greatest music and make it into lo-fi jammers. So big
You know
salutes
what
to the
that
lo-fi community.
this is like not exactly lo-fi, but well, it's actually there's an artist called Lo-Fi Leah, Lia, and she does that. Like Nintendo and video game like music turns it into lo-fi music, like all the theme songs. So that's one thing, but for some reason that reminded me, you know KK Slider from Animal Crossing? Well, there's like an yeah, this artist on Spotify called I think it's like K Clay Slider. I'm pretty sure that's how you yeah, yeah, yeah. And he does like all these covers of like popular like rock, pop, like hip hop, rap songs, but like KK Slider's version. And then sometimes
Oh.
you like driving in the car, like blasting that.
Oh, that sounds awesome. I'm gonna have to check that out now.
Yeah, I gave you 2 artists. You should definitely check both of those out.
I'm
I
gonna check both of
recommend.
those. Those are
Yeah.
those seem hot on the list. So now I'm
Yes.
gonna have to give them a listen. Shout outs to them. Big salutes. Love it. The last question I have for you, Leah. Obviously, would love to continue talking with you, but you know you got other shit you got to do. So I respect the time. But um, I've been doing interviewing for a little over 7.5 years now, and I would hope that people take away. I love doing it, you know, so that's my passion. I love doing this. Why is music and making music a passion to you? You know, I think oftentimes, you know, I've said it a lot here in this question where, you know, we listen to music and it's like, oh, cool, Leah makes music. I like that. But like, I love to know why artists create music because I think it makes me more invested in like the artistry that they make, you know, because I'm passionate about what I do.
Mm.
You know, it's like that camaraderie of like knowing like Leah's passionate about this because XYZ, you know. And I'm like, I love
Well,
that.
I might burst your bubble or ruin your like not opinion on me, but like it's not going to be the answer you probably
I don't know. It's,
probably
if it's honest and you know you're being a realist, I respect that, you know.
yeah, I mean, to be honest, like the only reason I do this, and I mean, obviously I love it and I am passionate about it, but like it's literally like it's the one thing that I feel like I'm really good at. It's like the only thing I know how to do really well. It's the only thing I could see myself doing. So that's like kind of my only answer. I mean, there's not like it's not like this crazy thing happened to me in my life and I felt like music was the answer to do it. It's like, no,
Sure.
music's like the only thing that I like that makes sense to me and my existence and my being. And I people say that too, and I believe it, you know, but that's the answer. It's like I'm passionate about it because it's like it's the only thing I care this much about,
Sure.
unfortunately.
Yeah. No, I feel like you crushed it, you know, because I think oftentimes like, you know, people are like, and I love the answer where people are like, music saved my life and like this is like, you know, and I want to do it because like I feel like a lot of
Yeah.
kinship with that answer, right? But I also feel like people that are just like, I don't think I could do anything else well. You know what I mean? I think that's like I get it. You know, like I didn't think I could interview bands, and now I've been doing it for seven
You
and a
love
half
it
years,
so
and now I
much.
love it so
Yeah.
much. You know, so it's like people ask me as well, like, would you stop doing it? And I was like, well, either I'll have to be like hospitalized or something for me to like not be able to do it, right? Like that's other than that, like I would really like to continue this for as long as I can do it for because
Right.
like music is made a super large impact of my life and I love to be able to share that experience or highlight other people's experiences in music because it's also had an impact on them as well too. So I
Mhm.
think your answer, I think you crushed it, you know.
Yeah,
So
I feel exactly what you said. Yeah, it's like something would have to go terribly wrong for it to not ever be like possible, you know, to do. And that's almost impossible to me. I don't know. Like even when I die, like my music will still be out there. I'll somehow still
yeah,
do it,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know? Like so it's yeah, it's I feel that. That is great. Yeah.
I love that. Well, Leah, the last thing, arguably the most important thing that we're going to talk about tonight is where they can find you at, what you have coming up in the next couple months, and you know anything else you'd like to plug about your artistry and what you do.
Yeah, you can find me any streaming platform under Leah with the spaces, L space E space A. Or LOL, it's Leah on every social media platform and Google because it recognizes that more than my artist name, which I guess makes sense. So, both of them work just as well. I'm pretty sure you could type one or the other on Spotify, it'll come across the same thing. But yeah, I guess what's to come? I mean, definitely new music. I know I just released in February, but I feel like it's just been forever since I put something out, even though it hasn't been that long. I got to keep telling myself that. But I'm really excited because
Don't
I've
rush
just
it. Yeah.
yeah, no, I mean, I wouldn't, but I'm eager. I'm definitely eager to get the stuff out. But there is some cool stuff, and I'm really excited to like get it to a place where it's ready to come out. And then yeah, unfortunately, everything else is so up in the air. That's all I can say for for what's to come. But I'm fingers crossed and hoping, there are other things that I can get to announce and talk about in the near future. So that would be really cool. And then was that all the did I get everything?
I don't know. You tell me. That's
I
is.
think so. Yeah,
I like
I
how you're
think
asking me as if I know. I'm like, I
I
don't
know
know
you
what's on your.
listed off a couple of things.
I
I
was
was
like,
like, "I don't know your life."
I don't know what you're doing. That's why I follow you on social media. So I just know you like Bugsnax. That's it.
Yeah, I'm about to go watch, like, 20 more videos after this. That's
Respect,
what I'm doing
respect,
tonight.
respect, respect the grind on that. I love that. But guys, go check out Leah. Listen, this is like one of the coolest finds I found out in quite a hot minute. And if you're looking for like a great female fronted, not that it feels like it has to be that thing, but like, it's a female and she's fronting a band. I'm not saying it as like a derogatory thing, just so you know.
Facts.
But
Yeah, yeah.
it's factual. So please go check out Leah. She's awesome. All of her stuff slaps, and if you don't like her, I'm gonna be very disappointed. So just don't disappoint me. I don't like being disappointed. So please go check her out. All of the links will be below. Go follow her on Spotify. Go follow her on TikTok. Go do all that sort of stuff. Subscribe to her YouTube channel. I'll leave that because that was incredibly hard to find, but I did find it. So
Oh,
I'll leave it.
was it?
It was yeah.
What did you type in? See, this is my
I did
problem.
type in Leah with the spaces, and that
Oh,
didn't come
man,
up.
yeah,
And then I typed in Leah as in one word. And I was like, "There's no way that's gonna come up." And then I typed in "lol, it's Leah," and that came up. So
that's
do
why I
what
was
I
like,
did.
"LOL, it's Leah everywhere else."
Do it. Do that. That's it. That's the way to go. But
This is good
T
feedback.
no problem. I'll make sure to let you know about everything. So please go check out Leah. She's awesome. If you enjoyed this interview, share, like, and subscribe. It does go a long way. I'm trying to hit 5K before the year's over with, and we're a little over halfway there. So I mean, if you want to help me get to that finish line, I would be immensely grateful. So thank you for
Yay.
watching, and huge thanks to Leah for coming on. I'm glad we got it sorted out.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me. This has been a blast.